I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 1998 Ford Ranger XLT 3.0 liter automatic. Vehicle came in, engine overheating. Now we're going to see why it's overheating. So whenever the engine overheats, first thing to do is make sure you got enough antifreeze in your cooling system. So first we're going to be opening up the radiator cap. We're going to be looking inside of this radiator. It looks empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to be filling it up with some antifreeze. So I added 1 whole gallon of antifreeze and it's still low. So it must have a leak. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be putting on this pressure tester and I'm going to pressurize the cooling system, and if there's any leak in the cooling system, the antifreeze is going to come out. The pressure is not even going up, so there gotta be one leak someplace. See all that coolant coming out? Okay. Look right there, you see the coolant. Yeah, so that heater hose has sprung a leak, so that's where our problem is. So I'm going to be replacing that heater hose. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job: a plier, side cutters, 1/4 inch ratchet, 1/4 inch extension, 8mm socket, 2 different type flat tip screwdrivers, cooling system pressure tester, some heavy duty silicone spray, and an 80 grit sandpaper. This is the part I'm going to be using today to do this job. This is a heater hose. One side attaches to the engine and the other side attaches to the heater core. So I'm going to be removing this air intake hose so I can get access to the heater hose. So I'm going to be removing this clamp, this connector, this clamp, and this plastic piece. Okay, the hose didn't want to come off. I didn't want to force it or else it might split, and I ended up changing the hose. So all we did was just turned it to the side just to get it out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to be replacing this heater hose. This is the hose that ruptured. So I'm going to be squeezing this clamp, getting it off, and then taking this hose off. So we're going to be following this hose. And it looks like it goes under here. So I'm going to have to be removing this tie strap. Okay, so we're going to have to remove this hose. So we're going to be following this hose right up to the heater core. So it's going to be this guy we're going to be removing. So I'm going to get my razor blade. I'm going to cut the hose to remove it because we're going to be replacing it. So I just cut the hose, and now I'm going to split it open. So I'm going to be cleaning up this pipe. This is where the heater hose goes on. There's a lot of rust on it. So I'm going to get some sandpaper and kind of sand down the rust, make it a little smoother. So that way when I slip the hose on, it's going to be a lot easier. So I got some 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to sand off all the rust. So I'm going to be sanding this this heater core, this tube, a little bit. Look like a little bit rust or barnacle. So I'm just going to smooth it out. Okay, so I'm going to be spraying some silicone lube on the heater core tube. That way it make the hose a little easier to slip it on. I'm going to be spraying some in the hose. Some on this tube. Some on this hose. Some right in there. So I'm going to be transferring this clamp and this over to the new hose. And same as this side, transferring this clamp and this piece to the new hose. So we're going to be putting the hose back in. Just put it in the same way it came out. So I'm going to be sliding my heater hose on. Okay, so we're going to be sliding the heater hose to the heater core. So we're going to be putting this hose onto the manifold and tightening this guy up. So now I'm going to be putting back my air intake. Okay, so we're going to be putting back this cover. So I'm going to be filling up the cooling system. So I'm going to pressurize my cooling system again. Okay, now this thing is holding pressure. Okay, so we're going to start it up, and then we're going to let this motor come to normal operating temperature. We want the thermostat to open, and you want the cooling system to start circulating. Okay, so I was running this vehicle for a while. Now the cooling system was circulating, so I shut it off and I topped off the radiator with antifreeze. I topped off the coolant recovery tank with antifreeze. I'm going to be putting back my cap. Now I'm going to be road testing the vehicle. So I road tested the vehicle. It doesn't overheat anymore. Everything is running good. If you have any questions, comment below. Make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Aloha.